Hi, I'm Rebecca, and this is my, is it a vlog if I don't do it all the time, or is it a podcast? I don't know. Either way. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I haven't done one of these in forever. Oh, this is my vlog about knitting. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, I haven't done this in forever because we got so sick in January, and we had COVID, we had the flu, and we had a cold going through our family all at once, and it was so bad, and I just wasn't able to do that, obviously. And then I kind of just got out of the habit, and then what happened was I just kind of stopped knitting. I haven't knit in like 3 months, and so there was really nothing to talk about as far as knitting. Like, I wasn't even buying yarn. There was nothing to say. Nothing. This is my neighbor's house, and I am obviously in a different location because I don't have my tripod. Why don't I have my tripod? Because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like dragging it down. So instead of going upstairs to my bedroom and getting my tripod and coming downstairs and setting it up, I decided to spend like 15 minutes finding a place to prop up my phone. And I keep looking over here because I'm like, oh no, I forgot some yarn I was gonna show you, but you know what? I forgot yarn I was gonna show you. Oh no. Okay, stay with me, stay with me. Okay. So I have been knitting again, which is really exciting. I wasn't knitting because I wanted to knit. I still had the desire to knit, but no patterns were really speaking to me, and I wanted to knit something that was interesting. So, but I felt like nobody was coming out with anything new that was like interesting and something I wanted to make. So instead of finishing my projects, because that's boring, why would I do that? I decided to not knit at all. But I really wanted to. So let's see, over the past few weeks, I actually did get to hang out with 2 knitting friends, which is so exciting. I love knitting friends, and I haven't seen anybody in like 3 years, since the beginning of COVID. So it was really cool to finally see somebody. So I hung out with my friend Julie. She's got a podcast, Julie Knits. I'm gonna link it in the now bar. We have been friends for a really long time, and I love her. And we were able to hang out in Poulsbo, and we went to the yarn store. I'm from Pacific Northwest, by the way. We went to Poulsbo. We went to the Heart to Heart Knitting in Poulsbo, and it was a yarn store, obvious. Oh my God. We went there, and it was so fun. And I bought yarn for the first time, I think like literally this year. Oh no, I did order some Yarn Kaffe creations, but other than that, it was the first time I've bought yarn. So let me show you what I got. I got these by Trilogy Yarns, and I love them. They are, not all, she has a lot at the store that is Schitt's Creek themed, and I will buy any yarn that is Schitt's Creek themed because I love that show so much. I've watched the whole thing several times, and I'm not a TV watcher. I don't watch it. I put it on in the background now that I know what's going on. I don't need to watch anymore, but I got these. This is the Crows Have Eyes, and I love gray and orange together. Gray, black, and orange is so my thing. And this is called David's Sweater. So you have some white with black, obviously. And then I have Timberwolf, which I don't think is Schitt's Creek. Probably not. A lot of the solids I don't think were, but the speckles were all that. Oh my gosh, she had so many fun ones. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at the camera. I think I'm doing better at that today. And then I got this also called Saffron. It's a little bit more dark and golden than that, but this is also Trilogy Yarns. So all of it was Trilogy Yarns. It's at Heart to Heart Knitting. This is Surrey alpaca and some silk, lace weight single ply. So excited to use this. I have 4 skeins of Surrey yarn, but Surrey yarn, but I've never actually used it. I don't know why I'm saving it. And also these are MCN 4-ply fingering, 80/20, 80 merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. So I'm really excited about like putting these all together in some kind of shawl or sweater or something, I think that would be really cute. Even if it was just like these 3, or even just like these 2. And so Trilogy Yarns in a Heart to Heart Knitting. And I want to say also that all of the Trilogy yarn is $30. It doesn't matter what the base is. So like the MCN was $30. The Surrey was $30. So I love that pricing because A, it's kind of cheaper than a lot of yarn right now. And B, it's really easy to just know how much you're spending, right? So I did get those 4 skeins and I hung out with my friend Julie, which was so fun. And then we went out to eat, and right after we ordered our food, I got a phone call from my daughter's school saying that she'd cut her eyebrow and I had to pick her up because she needed stitches. So I scarfed down my food like an actual animal and had to leave. And that was so sad. And we weren't able to spend any more time together before she left. And so it was such a bummer, but I was so excited to meet her, or not meet her, meet up with her. It was so great. And also the yarn store is great. So if you're ever in Poulsbo or in the general area, Bremerton area, it's so nice. The people are really nice and it's really small, but they have a lot of nice yarn. So then I also got to spend time with Susie, and she has the Vegas Golden Knits podcast. I will link it down here. And her sister Stephanie, who is not a knitter for reasons I don't understand, but Susie's very generous and knits her a bunch of socks. So she goes to Susie with all the yarn stores. So that's fun, right? Okay, so we hung out. Sorry, I kind of started thinking about why somebody wouldn't knit. That's so weird. We hung out, we went to the yarn store. It was so fun. I forgot the yarn I got actually. It's just, I got some non-superwash 2-ply in a charcoal color. I should have brought that. And that was cool. That was cool. It was nice to see Susie. And then we went out to a Mexican place and it was really good. And we talked and we sat and knit. I think we were there for like 4 hours just like knitting, but there was nobody else there. So they didn't kick us out or anything, which was good. I was a little worried about that. And then I was so excited that she came to see me because she was coming to Bellingham for the Tulip Festival, and she made the time to come all the way down to Poulsbo because even though I have lived in the Pacific Northwest most of my life, I don't do ferries by myself. Like, I am so convinced that I will mess it up and I will not be able to like get in the right line. I'll get in like the holding area or something and then just be like unable to get onto the ferry. But they were brave enough to tackle a ferry, and so she came to see me and it was so great. Yeah. Really had a good time with her, and she's just like the sweetest person ever. It was fun. It was so fun. So it's so nice to see knitting friends again. If you're in the Bremerton, Poulsbo area and you're a knitter and you're not weird or creepy, send me a message. We're gonna hang out because I need knitting friends that are local. Actually, maybe not, because the most awkward person alive. Oh my god, I am so awkward. And not only that, like, I was diagnosed with a hand tremor at my latest doctor appointment a few months ago, and you can kind of see. So I have a hard time like with eating food, especially when I'm already anxious and nervous. So I was dropping my food everywhere and it was so embarrassing. But I'm the kind of person that thinks my entire existence is just like embarrassing. So that's probably gonna happen if you hang out with me at any point. You're gonna be like, whoa, you're kind of weird. That's fine. It's, you know what? I don't have the time or energy to put on another personality. I just don't. I don't have it in me. I'm lazy, and that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I just embrace the hot mess without the hot. It's not good, but that's okay. If you're okay with all of that and you're not weird, no weirdos, come hang out with me. So, okay, my dogs want to go outside. So I have been knitting and I'm so excited because I actually found a pattern that I want to make that I thought was unique and interesting, and I brought it over here to show you. It is a challenge. So let's talk about it. I don't really like when people say that, actually. This is the Kurdish shawl by Kieran Foley, and you can see that it is a lot. It's a lot. This is obviously not the entire thing. It's pretty long, but this is as wide as it gets. So it's like a really wide scarf or like a stole. It is intarsia. It is stranded color work. It is a lot. It's a lot. The worst part, cast on is easy. It's about 100 stitches. And this was easy, obviously, but this killed me. This killed me, guys. This was like, I don't know how many stitches or how many colors it is. I think it's like 15 colors that you have to intarsia across the row while stranding and following the chart. It was really intense, and each row, and you knit flat, obviously. Oh my, it's so bad. You knit flat, and each row took me about 25 minutes to do, just like one row. Sorry if you hear my dog whining. He's fine, he just went out. He just is bored and wants to go play. If not, I'll have a mess to clean up later. So, and then there's just this tiny little bit of like almost lace. And then by the time that you've done 15 rows in a 15 intarsia colors in one row, the 4 and 5 that you're doing here and 3 is a treat. It's a treat to do just these 3. So the way this works is it's actually meant for like scraps and minis. I have been doing, I can't pause this. I don't know how to pause it, so he has to wait. It's going well. This is my first take. The way it works is that you can pick whatever colors you want. Obviously, more is more, less is a bore. I haven't spent a lot of time worrying about the particular colors, just more time worrying about visually contrast. And obviously it's not even very contrastual all the time, but I love it. And it's 2-ply superwash. It's actually the Knit Picks palette yarn. I have the minis in the palette yarn. You can get these on Knit Picks or crochet.com, and I'll talk about that in a minute. It's just Knit Picks palette, fingering weight, and it's non-superwash. And so that's such a weird phrase to me, because wool in its natural state is non-superwash, right? And then superwash is adding extra. So why is it called non-superwash when that is like the standard? It should be like superwash and natural. I don't know, but I don't get it. A lot of things in life are like that, and I just don't understand. Yeah, so you have this little bit of color work over here. This is really easy. It's intarsia still, but it's really simple. Intarsia is so simple. I promise you, if you've ever done any kind of stranded work, or even if you haven't, intarsia is like one of the simplest ways of doing color work. I love it. I was talking to Susie at lunch, and I kind of gave her this really basic tutorial about how to do it. Like, showed her on her sock and my sock that we were knitting. I just combined the yarns, and I'm like, this is how you do it. What's nice about using non-superwash yarn is that it's really grippy, so it's if you drop a stitch, it's not going to fall far, right? You can intentionally drop a stitch and it's not going anywhere. And then you don't have to use large amounts of it at the same time, especially in an intarsia project like this. You don't want to use a large amount because you have to deal with all of these things. And you might be thinking, well, Rebecca, you can use bobbins. I tried that, and then I spent a lot of time researching this designer and Kaffe, Fassett, and his designs that use so much intarsia. And he was like, just live your life. Don't spend the rest of your life worrying about this. Don't use bobbins. It makes it harder when you're doing a lot of colors. Just pull from the tangle, that's what they call it, and it's really easy to do that. You keep your yarn shorter, and when it's non-superwash, you can either splice it like a normal person, you can knot it, which is what I've heard people say Kaffe. So Kaffe Fassett, that's what he suggests, is just knot your yarn in the back and keep going. Or you can be gross like me and do the spit splice where you just attach the next yarn that matches, obviously, or it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't on this thing. And just attach it like this and put spit or water on it, whatever you have handy. I have spit. And then you just like rub it between your hands and it felts together and it's not going anywhere. And it takes just a couple seconds. And so if you're really lazy like me, it's a really great way to just keep adding more color, you know, because you're gonna run out of the orange, you're gonna run out of the white, and so you just add more color. I've made mistakes, I'm not pointing them out. The designer of this was like, yeah, I made mistakes, you probably can't see them, it's not a big deal, embrace the mistakes, it's okay. I'm doing red as the background. The original design is red at the background. Oh, I didn't bring the piece of paper. The original design is red on the background too, so, but the thing is, I'm gonna show you right now, is that I have all of these minis. Now I got the Sunset Mini Sampler from Knit Picks for Christmas. Actually, my mom bought it for me and I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. But when I saw this project, I was like 100% yes, I have the yarn for this. This is all tangled up, but I'm gonna show you anyway what's going on here with this box. So you can see, I don't know how many come in it, but it's a lot and they're all sunset themed, like the reds and the purples and the oranges and some blues and grays. Okay, so we can see what's happening here, kind of. There's a lot in here. They're very tiny and it's kind of, you can see it's a big box. So my mom got that for me for Christmas, and then I started knitting this and I was like, you know, I actually want more colors because this is kind of the vibe that's going on here. And there's only so many color combinations you can make before you start repeating everything. So I actually went online and I ordered the another one in the blues and greens, and crochet.com. See, look, here you go. It's on the thing. WeCrochet.com and crochet.com too. It's the same thing. Sells the same yarn. This, you can buy a palette on both websites because it's the exact same company. So here's the thing. If you want yarn and you go to Knit Picks and it's not on sale because you're cheap like me, check crochet.com, because the thing is that they have different sales on the same yarn. So when I went to Knit Picks, the Hawthorne fingering was on sale, like the whole thing, and I was like, oh man, these boxes are $100. And I didn't want to pay $100 if I didn't have to. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna check crochet.com just to see what's going on. They had a 25% off sale on all the palette, including this. So I got it for $75 plus free shipping. And the threshold for free shipping is lower on crochet.com, despite the fact that they sell the same yarn and ship from the same place. I think the threshold is $45 now. It was $35, and I don't know what Knit Picks is, but it used to be like $60 or $65. So I don't know if they changed that or not, but crochet.com does not have the variety. I think, I'm pretty sure that they have less yarn. But if they sell the same Knit Picks yarn that you want, it is 100% worth it to go see if they have it on sale, because different sales, it's wild. So just so you know, you can get palette cheaper sometimes, depending on the website, I guess. So yeah, do that. That's what I did. The blue, it's supposed to be here on the 4th. So let's see, what else can I say about this? I've just been picking colors pretty much at random. That's what the guy even says, to Kieran Foley even says to do. It's like, just add colors. It really doesn't matter that much. So that's what I am doing. And now this was actually originally designed as a mystery shawl, which is so fun. I love mystery things, even though it was a mystery like 9 years ago. I love them because a lot of times they just have, you know, different stuff. I'm not sitting here doing this motif for like the rest of my life. There's so much change and keeps it interesting. The entire thing is basically stranded in tarja, but there's so many different patterns in this and it's so cohesive. Sorry about my dog. He's very sad. Kieran Foley, not my dog, has a lot of patterns that are inspired by different patterns and tiles that you find around the world. So this is the Kurdish shawl, and it's just so interesting. It's so fun to knit. It really is, because there's a bunch of different charts. I think it goes from A to I. So how many ever charts that is, that's it. And this one I'm working on is 40 rows. So I have 6 more rows to go right now. Oh my gosh, isn't this so fun and cool? I really wanted to knit something. This is going to be morbid, okay? I really wanted to knit something really awesome and looks really complicated because I got diagnosed with those hand tremors, and I'm worried that if they get worse, then one day I won't be able to knit anymore, which is pretty sad to think about. They have treatments for it, but I don't know. I don't want to get to the point where I can't knit anymore and have only knit penguonos and weird things, and then people are like, wow, you didn't even know how to knit. So I'd like to knit something really nice and start focusing on things that are a little bit nicer and more complicated, and obviously just have other stuff too that's more easy just for a break. But that's morbid. But I want a couple things that are nice and complicated and stuff. One of my dream knits is called Foolish Virgins by Kaffe Fassett. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a cardigan, and it's got like, I don't know, kings and queens playing cards type deal. I don't know what they look like, but it's like up to 38 intarsia colors per row sometimes, and so it's a lot. But and nobody's knit it hardly. Like, there's only a couple projects on Ravelry and a couple that have finished. I would never wear it, but I want the internet points, right? I gotta have people on the internet think that I'm cool. So hopefully they don't meet me and find out that I'm not. I keep saying and I'm so sorry. I'm so out of practice, and my dog keeps distracting me with his antics. It's actually a beautiful day outside. We just put these covers on because they're privacy covers, and we don't have, you can't see inside from them. So it's just a little bit, we are not the kind of person that open curtains, and we just didn't know what to do there. So, okay, I did life updates, basically. Everything's going well. Not too much is interesting. My life is pretty boring. I love having a boring life. I love having a completely open calendar. It's kind of embarrassing when doctors are like, oh, let's go to your next appointment. And I'm like, any day is fine. Oh my God. Summer's coming up, which is exciting. You all knew that. I'm sure if you can read a calendar, you knew that. So I don't know why I said that. But okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Hopefully I do this again soon. Did I paint my wall? Did I set up a space to do this? No. No, I didn't. I can't decide what color to paint the wall. I love the idea of pink because it's very Instagrammable, and you know, internet points are what matters in life, but I feel like it'll make my face like really red because I have pink undertones, and I'm worried about it making my face red, but I don't really like green. I'm thinking about actually doing green black, like that really deep forest green from Sherwin-Williams. Kind of thinking that. I don't know. I don't know what to do there, but I do want to do something. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Have a good day. I'll see you later. That's it. Okay, bye.